Hello everyone, this is Hoda Ganji, and in this video we are going to create a standard title block in Revit. I'll go to New Families. I'm going to go with ANSI C size, which is 17 by 22 inches. So I want to go to my Imperial title blocks, English Imperial title blocks, and I'll go with a new size. The size I need is 17 by 22, which is an ANSI size. So I'll open the new size. If I type units UN, so I'm going to work in inches, so I'm going to change the length to inches and maybe 2 decimals with the inches symbol. That's good. Now these two values, I want to click on one side. Instead of 8.5, I want it to be 17. And on the other side, instead of 11, I want it to be 22. So it's 22 by 17 in total. That's the ANSI size. For now, I'll delete these dimensions. I'm going to hit Tab. These four edges, I want them to be invisible lines. You see now it's turned into a gray color, which means when we load it into the project, it's going to be invisible. Then I want to have a little dash line here so the user knows where the title block starts because this is going to be an invisible line. So I'm going to go to my Manage Object Styles and I'll see I have some lines here. I'm going to create a new subcategory here and I'm going to name this gray lines for the edges and the title block. It's going to be gray, so I'll go with light gray here and I'm going to change this to dashed line. I'll hit OK. I'll go with create line and here I'm going to use my gray lines and I'm going to go with 1/2 inch. So I'm going to type 1/2 inch on each end. So the user, if I type HH, is going to see only this. And I'll go with another line here. Create line. Same settings, another 1/2 inch. So the user will see this, right? I'm gonna reset temporary height. I should repeat it for the other three corners. I'll go with create line. It's gonna be 1/2 inch here and another 1/2 inch. Also at the bottom and here. And on the other side, I'll go with create lines. And one more here. So if I hide these lines again, this is what the user sees on all four corners. So maybe you can now select every of those 1/2 inches lines and lock them to the edge. So if we change the size, it's gonna move with it. I'm gonna suggest lock it at the very end after you create the four corners. And next I'm gonna create the edge that I want to be seen in the title block. I'll go with create line. And I want this one to be a white line. I want to offset from the top and bottom. I want to have 1/2 inch offset. So I'll go with 1/2 inch from the top. I'll go with unconstrained, that's fine. I'll go with 1/2 inch from the bottom. And I'm going to go with, I want to go with 3/4 of an inch on the right side. And I want to go with 1 1/4 of an inch on the left. If possible, sometimes we try to go with more room on the left margin, so there is room for staple and everything. I want to use trim, TR, and trim these four corners. And I want to hit Tab to select these four lines and move them to white lines. And if I hit TL, you see that this is a wider line. Now the actual room that we have, if I get a dimension here, is 20 by 16, which is good. On the right side, I want to copy this line 2 inches away this vertical, as we call it, is a vertical title block. I want to include all the information in this 2 inches area in here. The reason I'm going with 2 and I'm going to suggest don't go with any values smaller than 2 inches is that the size of a stamp is usually a bit smaller than 2 inches. So 2 inches above is good enough to fit a stamp size here. So one other thing I want to have is some guidelines, as we call. So I'm going to have every 2 inches modules so the user can put the views based on the guidelines. I'll go to my Manage Object Style. I'm going to click on the title block and add a new subcategory here, and I'm going to name this Guidelines. I want to go with maybe a cyan color. You can go with light gray if you want. And I want to go with dashed lines again. And I'm gonna go with create line. I'm gonna offset this one by 2 inches. If I pick line by 2 inches, and I want to change this one to my guideline. You can go with blue, cyan color, green or gray, anything that's appropriate for your company. And I'm going to copy this every 2 inches. And same thing on the other side. So these are our modules. So I'll go with create line offset, offset by 2 inches here, and change this new line to guideline type and copy that every 2 inches. And you see that I have exact 2 by 2 modules based on the dimensions that I already considered. I want to select all these guidelines, and to the visibility, I want to associate it with a family parameter. I'll go with new parameter and I'm going to name this guideline visibility. So the user can turn it on or off when they put the views and they're done with it, they can turn it off. It should be instance. So every single title block, every single sheet, the user can decide whether they want it to be on or off. So it's instance, visibility, OK, and OK. And here at the end, it has to actually end here. So I need to move and extend the lines here. The right box here is where we include the information about the project. One thing I would like to include here, I would like to add some text. Maybe I'll go with edit type duplicate. I'm going to call this 1/8 of an inch. And I want to change the text size to 1/8 of an inch. And all the text I would suggest to have transparent background so they wouldn't block anything. I'll hit OK. And I want to put number 1 here. If I draw a center line here, just to see where is this center line, if I go with 1 inch here, that one value should be around here. This will tell us this is module part 1. I can copy, and I want to draw a thin line. I'll go with create line, thin lines. This gray dash line, it might become invisible if the user decides. So I want to include maybe a 0.25 line. I will keep this as visible all the time. So even without the guidelines, they know how far they can go. So I want to copy this over there. And copy this text over here. And I need to change the number. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, all the way to 9. Okay. Now I can maybe copy these elements. I want to have them at the bottom too. So I want to go with copy from this endpoint all the way to this endpoint. It looks all good. Everything is fine. On the other side here, I want to copy this text. And starting from bottom going up, it's going to be A, B, C, D. So this one is going to be a capital A. And if I draw a small line, 1 inch away, I want to move this text so it's close to halfway through here. Then I want to create a small line here as well, thin line. Maybe 0.25 would be good again. And I want to copy these two elements in the other modules. And this last one goes here. Okay. According to National CAD standard, we usually start from bottom and go up. So it's going to be B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And we want this whole thing on the other side. I want to draw a window from top left to bottom right, and I would just copy all these items on the other side. There we go. So now the user, with or without the guidelines, which has the visibility parameter, still have enough indications of where to put the views. Now on the right side, I want to create some lines, and I'm going to go with medium lines from here on. For the first line, maybe I'll offset it by 1/4 of an inch to the top if I hit a space. So starting from here, I'm going to include the project information. I'll include the sheet number here. I want to go with 1/2 an inch for the next one. So I'm going to copy this 1/2 an inch away. I have already thought about the dimension, so this is what I would prefer to go with. And I'll go 1/4 of an inch lines here. There we go. I would like to try to nicely align them with these lines here. Sometimes it's not possible, but if it's possible, it's gonna look nice. I'll go with create line, and I want to have 2 sets of boxes here. And now let's start with adding some text and labels. I'll go with create text. I need one other type, so I'll go to edit type duplicate. I'll go with 1/16 bold. I should turn my caps off. Okay, there we go. 1/16 bold. Transparent is good. Text size is 1/16. I'll hit OK. And here I want to maybe go all caps, and I want to put sheet number. It all can be small letter. Okay. I want to move this up and left. And remember that this is set to transparent, so it's not going to block anything else. That's good. When you're happy with this location, copy it up so it's going to be exactly on the same place on all the boxes. Then we'll adjust the text one by one. I want to copy these 5 items on the right side as well. I'll go to the type. Again, this is transparent. If you want for the offset, you can change it to a smaller value, like 1/64 of an inch. And now this kind of the edges are smaller, so it's a bit easier to work with. I can do the same for this other text type. I'll change the offset to 1/64 of an inch. There we go. Here, let's modify this. This one is going to be the drawing number. Starting, maybe I'll start from top to bottom here. Here I would like to have project number. I would like to see the scale here. I would like to see designed by. I'm going to see drawn by here, so the drafter's name. Here is going to be checked by, and maybe approved by. Maybe I would like to include date here, sheet size, and the discipline, whether it is architectural, mechanical, which one it is, and the project manager maybe. You can include any information you think it's necessary. I want to go with these informations for now. So how do we add everything? So let's say for the drawing number, what I need is actually a label. So in the Revit project, it knows what label we are referring to. For the labels, maybe I'll go with two sets of labels. One would be 1/8 of an inch, which I will change this to transparent again. I want to change the text size to 1/8. So the label is now 1/8 of an inch. I want to go with align center, and I'll add, if you click, it's going to allow you to add a label. What do I want in this box? The drawing number or the sheet number? So that goes to the right. I'll hit OK, and I'm going to place it here. So maybe I'll move this, and I can hit TL. I want to try to limit the size of this text to exactly these borders if possible. You can get close enough, that's good. So this one is going to be the drawing number. I'll hit TL back, so this is what we're going to see in the sheet. For these other areas, I want to go with another label, and maybe I'll duplicate it as 1/16 of an inch, and I want to see 1/16 of an inch here. I'll hit OK, and I'll add a label here. Approved by goes to the right side, and again hit escape, select the text. We can make it smaller. I want to hit TL, so I see thin lines instead of thick. And I'll make this a bit smaller. And I want to fit it here. There we go. Feel free to also, if you want, change the leader or border, maybe 1/32 of an inch. Same for this one. I can change this to 1/32 of an inch. And in that case, now I can move this a little bit more out again. Same here, so we have more room for the text. This area, which is the label, I want to have exactly on the same position on all these boxes. So I'm going to go with copy here. And now let's see which ones we have, which ones we don't. So project number, I'll go to edit a label. We already have it here. I'll move it to right and move this back to left. Designed by, we should already have it here. So this goes to right, this goes to left. Oh, excuse me, designed by is this one. Drawn by, go to edit. This can go to right, this can go to left. Checked by, we have it already. Approved by is good, scale. Type S, so it's going to go to the labels starting with S. Scale is good. Date, we already have the date. And maybe in the format, I'll just go to edit. This is actually how the label is going to look like. I want to go here and say, just go with the date. So I'm going to remove this and hit OK. Sheet size, this one is going to be a text actually. So I'm going to delete the label, and instead I want to bring a text. So these are 1/16 of an inch. I'll go with create text 1/16. I don't want it to be bold, so I'll go with edit type duplicate 1/16 regular and remove the bold. Oh, I should include bold in the other one. Okay, and I'm gonna click here. This sheet is ANSI C size. It's important to know the sheet size, so feel free. If you go with a different sheet size, you can mention what size it is in here. So this should be good. And this other 1/16 bold, I forgot to check the box for bold. Okay, now those are bold. Okay. Discipline and project manager, it might not be here, so we're going to add it as shared parameter. Project manager is not here and discipline is not. So I'll show you how you do that. Here where it says sheet number, I want to have text, one text here, and I'll go with the text, and maybe I'll go with 1/8. I want to type off. So it's sheet 1 of 32, for instance. I'm going to move this down. And I'm going to need two other labels. I can change this to back to 1/16. And the label and the tag would both be 1/16. So I'll go, this is a 1/16 label. That's good. I'm going to copy this down here, and I can make this a bit smaller and move it to here. And this can be copied over here. So what I need here is set number and set total, so that's going to also be a shared parameter. How does it work? I'm going to need to select any of these. For instance, this one is going to be set number. And if I go to edit, you see there is no set number here. So it's going to be a new parameter, and it's going to be a shared parameter. I can select my shared parameter file from before. If you don't have one, you need to create it. And see that I already have some stuff here for title block. If you don't have anything, you need to open a project. So I'm going to save this title block and open a project. I'll go with one backup. I'm going to open a project, any project. Let's say in this project, I'll go to manage, I'll go to shared parameters. I already have a shared parameter file here. If you don't have a shared parameter file, you need to create one. But if you have one, I'm going to suggest use only one shared parameter file for everything in your company. I'll create a new one. It's going to be a txt file. And the first time you create one, it's going to be blank. Create a new group for title blocks. Again, if you have a shared parameter file, please use that one. In title block, I'll go with new. It's gonna be one integer. A comment stays as comment. Data type is gonna be integer. The name of the sheet or the number of the sheet, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, is an integer. And this is gonna be set number. I'll need a new parameter in this group, integer again. Integer means a full number like 1, 2, 3. This is set total. Okay and okay. Remember, we also had discipline and project manager, which it didn't exist in built-in labels in Revit. So I'll go to my shared parameters. I'll create a new parameter for discipline. This one is going to be a text. And a new one, which is going to be project manager. And this one is also going to be a text. Remember that for the shared parameters to work correctly, you need to have them both in the family and in the project. If it exists in one but not on the other one, it's not going to work. So I created these four. They seem good. I'll hit OK. I'll go to my title block. I'll go to any of these labels like this one. Now I can create a new label. I'm going to select the exact same shared parameter file, which is already selected. It knows it's going to use the last one that I use in the Revit project. I'll go with set number here. It's an integer, that's all good. So set number goes to the right. This is set number. I'll go to edit, just so the user knows this refers to a number. For sample value, I'll go with 2 hashtags or 1 hashtag maybe. Same with this one. Edit, new, select, set total, move it to right, move this to left, sample, 1 hashtag or 2. Okay. With for the discipline, same thing, label, shared parameters, select, discipline goes to right, this goes to left, and finally the project manager. You can create as many custom fields as you need. I just want to go with these 4 custom at the moment. So I'm gonna copy this line up by a few half an inches. So I'll need 1/2 an inch for sheet name, 1/2 an inch for project name, and 1/2 an inch for the client name. So I'm gonna copy this text up here in the exact same place. And these are going to be sheet name or sheet title. I'll go with sheet title. Try to be consistent as much as possible. This one is going to be project name. So I'm going to go all caps in all if you have gone all caps before. And this one is going to be client. Copy this tag up there. So I'm going to copy this here, here, and here. This one, if I go to edit, is going to be the sheet name. So this goes to left, this goes to right and left. Okay. This one is project name. Goes to right, this goes to left. And this one is going to be the client's name or information. So this area looks good. On the top here, I want to copy this line. Maybe from the other side, I'll copy it from this left side here. At the top, I would suggest you add your logo and address of the company over there. In this area, if I move or copy this down, I would suggest to have this stamp here. So I'll go with create line, a circle. Maybe I'll go with those gray lines again. I don't want this to be visible. This is going to be a circle with a diameter of 1.75. So I can click here. Then I'm going to get the diameter, di diameter. Then this value, I want it to be 1.75, which is close to a real stamp size. I don't want this to be visible. I just want it to be in title block so it's clear what this box is for. I can move this just to make sure that is on the center. I'll draw 2 lines for a second here, which is 1 inch over there and There we go. And just to be neat, I want to move this in a way that it's centered in this area. There we go. And I can erase this too. So this one is not visible. If you want, you can also assign a visibility parameter to it, such as what we did for the guideline, and name it stamp visibility. And in this area, I would copy this line here, and I would copy this by 75 up here, 0.75. In these two areas, if I move this text or copy this text up there, I want to include a key plan, and then I want to include a disclaimer here. We're going to have the revision table. And if I go with a smaller size, I leave the cell CD empty. So if I go with a smaller size sheet, I still can fit all this information there. In the next video, I'll show you how to create a revision table inside the title block and how to create a key plan. For now, I'm just going to add a text over there. See if I have a text here. And this text is 1/16. That's fine. I'll copy that over there. For the disclaimer, I want to change this to be center, align to center. And I can use arrow keys to fit this where it needs to be. Move it a little bit up. So before using this in any project, you can write the text here and then insert it into the project. A couple things that's left to do. One is the north arrow symbol. I want to go to my project. I had already created a north arrow as a generic annotation family. I'll go to edit family. I'm going to close that project. This is the north arrow. Maybe it's too big. I'll make it a bit smaller. If you're not sure how we created this north arrow as a symbol or generic annotation, I'll put the link to the other video at the bottom on the description of this video so you can take a look. I'll hide this field region for a second, and I want to scale this north arrow down by scale half. That should be good. And I'm going to go with edit this sketch. I'll remove this and I'll go with pick and pick these lines. Okay, so this is my north arrow. Feel free to save this as north arrow. I'll go with one backup. Now you can load this into the title block, put it here. In our project, I know that if I rotate it, it's going to be 77.88. That's the angle to true north. And what I would like to do is that to this family, I want to assign a visibility parameter. I'll go here, click on new parameter, and I'm going to say north arrow visibility. As instance, it has to be per sheet. I'll hit OK, I'll hit OK. So in each sheet, if it's a plan sheet, they can check it to be visible or not. The good thing is it's going to be exactly on the same place on all the sheets. And the last thing we need to add is some information here about the file path. I'm going to go with a text. 1/16 shall be good. I'm going to click here and type file path in caps maybe to be consistent. And I'm going to use this to rotate it and use arrow keys to move this down. If you hit TL, you see how thick this line is. Okay. So here I'll need this as well. Okay. Now in front of this, I'm gonna need another label. I'll go with create label. It's gonna be 1/16. What do I need here? I'm gonna click once. What I need here is the file path as a label. So this goes over there. I'll hit OK. I need to rotate it and I need to hit escape and move it to exactly fit here. I want to have this aligned to the left. There we go, and I'll move this up. So it's going to show this file path as a text, then it's going to read the actual file path from your computer. Feel free to move this a little bit higher maybe. And on the other side, I want to have a text, so maybe I'll copy this text. It doesn't need to be a label, a text is enough. And I want this to be aligned to the right side. And maybe I can include that some information such as what type of title block it is, who designed it. If you want to include any copyright or anything, you can leave it here. Feel free to add another text box here. So you can include the information of the company, maybe the name of the company. I would put 2 boxes. Maybe this box here is going to be a bit larger in size, so I'll go with edit type, duplicate. I'll go with maybe between 1/16 and 1/8, it's going to be 3/32 of an inch. Maybe I'll go with duplicate, or I would like it to be bold as well for the name of the company. So I want to check the box for bold here, and the text size is going to be 3/32 of an inch. Tab size is going to be the same. I see I accidentally changed it. 1/32 for the tab. So 1/32 for the tab, 3/32 here is transparent. Everything looks good. So here goes the name of your company, the address and the website here, and the logo of the company here. In the next videos, I'll show you how to add a key plan to your title block. I would suggest to use a symbol, which is a generic annotation family, and how to add a revision table to the title block. That's it for this video. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe for more videos.